I don't know what to think when Jordan Brand brings stuff like this back. I didn't really quite understand the point of it the first time, and I definitely don't understand when they bring it back the second time, or the third time, or the fourth time. I'm kind of like, what the fuck? Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look on these guys right here. This is an interesting one. I honestly can't believe these are back. I was surprised that they released the first time around. I was like, what the are those? This is the Jordan 6 1723. It was originally kind of a performance model, which is interesting because it's also a hybrid of two signature shoes. So first things first, big thank you to one of our WearTesters Discord members. His name is Raul. He actually helped me grab these. He hit me up. He actually helped me grab two shoes. The first one, I don't even know if I'm should do a video on them just because they're old, but he helped me get these, which I love. So yeah, if you guys want a video on those, let me know and we can take care of that for you. But he also ran into these and he was like, yo, these are back. And I was like, what the f?
Shut up and take my money.
Retails $150, by the way. I don't remember what they were originally retailed for, but I'm pretty sure it was that too. And again, this is a hybrid. It combines the 6, which you can see, the 17, which you can kind of see, and then together, those two numbers make 23. It's almost a play on the countdown pack because these two shoes in these two colorways were actually paired together. I bought that pack, and yeah, that was the whole thing of the countdown pack, is they were counting down to the Air Jordan 23 release. So every shoe that they put in there in those packs equaled 23. Now again, this was a performance shoe when it originally released. I believe it's still the same thing because all the specs are the same, but that's where things get interesting because they changed the original specs from the models that they used, which means they could totally do that if they wanted to on the retros. They just don't want to because these are way more comfortable than a Jordan 6 and a 17.
Excellent.
But first, look at that outsole. I do like that, okay? It looks cool. I really dig the 6's outsole. I really like the 17's outsole. Putting them together, it's just dope. So yeah, this one doesn't quite look as golfy, right, as the originals. I don't know if that's even a thing. I wish that there was more detail like there was on the original one, but I still like this. I think it's cool. Obviously, you can see where the 6's are right here in the translucent sections. Got some herringbone right there in the back, and above the traction is a mix tooling between the 17s and the 6's, and that's the part that I really dig because this is where they can really change things up and spice up these retros, make them way more comfortable if they wanted to. They choose not to, but if they wanted to, they could. The 6 uses a polyurethane midsole. This doesn't feel like polyurethane. This feels like it's Phylon. It feels like a dense Phylon, but it feels like foam nonetheless. You've got that in the forefoot and in the heel, which I think is really interesting. It's caged in the middle with these plastic pieces or these TPU panels, and they actually cover up the air sole window, just like the Air Jordan 17. So the 17's tech specs included a heel air unit and forefoot zoom air. That's what these guys have right here. The 6's tech specs featured a visible air sole unit in the heel and an encapsulated one in the forefoot with, again, the polyurethane and all that stuff. It's a nice little blend, plus some modern materials, which would be the EVA versus the PU. It makes for a pretty comfortable shoe. So, you know, there's that. So if you like the way that they look and you wanted to know how they feel, air in the back, zoom in the front, it's a nice little setup. The materials are okay. They're all right. They're not anything crazy. They're not premium. This pleathery stuff in the back that's supposed to mimic the Jordan 6 definitely feels pleathery. It feels like vinyl. And this stuff though up front is a synthetic nubuck. It's what they call Durabuck. It's pretty much on point with what you would find in the retro products. So if you were curious, that's just what it is. I don't know if I love the shape of the toe. The toe is what really has bothered me on this shoe. Clearly this is a mixture between the 6 and the 17. This toe though is not like the 17, even though they tried, and it's also not quite like the 6. It's like some of the 6's, like the 2014 retros where they're really bubbly and rounded. So it just looks very strange. I would have loved if the toe on this was the 17 and then it transitioned into the 6. I think that would have looked way cleaner. The tongue itself is something that I'm not super fond of, but it's kind of gusseted. It's got a 3/4 sleeve in there. It's got nice little airflow with the mesh. This area though, they really tried to make it like the 17 and it just feels a little weird, like it feels stiff. I don't really know what's going on with the shoe because it's familiar to me, but it's weird at the same time.
Are those music notes?
They are, because the 17 was all about jazz. I don't know, hey, I'm not the fuck guy, okay? That's just, I'm just letting you know, all right? So you know, the notes were on the snap cover that would go in these little plastic things that made the shoe damn near unwearable. Like those were really tight. They moved them up here to the tongue. I would have preferred the Jordan 6 tongue or like a mixture between the two, and it's neither. It's just something different. It's just very weird. I don't love it. I don't hate it either. It's strange. I do hate the spoiler, okay? They made it so squished, like it doesn't look right. Like from the side, the profile, it looks okay, even though it still looks tiny. From the back though, like I'm like, what happened to that thing?
That's what she said.
This little eyelet right here is from the 17, by the way, just in case you guys are wondering what that was. And again, the molding and all that stuff is from the 6, but it does have some extensions up here, just like the collar of the 17. So as far as blending the two shoes together, they definitely did that. Does it work? I'll leave you to let me know. I think not really. Depends on the colorway, which I guess is normal. Colorways could really make or break a shoe. That blue one on these guys does look nice. I gotta give it that. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size. And again, I find that they're a little bit more comfortable than the 17 and the 6. Oh, definitely more comfortable than the 6. The 6 is not that comfortable, but the 17, it was the fit. The fit was very painful on those. Even without that enclosure thing on, they were very tight. And these guys just feel much better than that. So go true to size for anybody wondering. I will say they look better on foot than they do in hand, like on shelf and all that stuff. It's very weird. The toe down view, even though I don't like the bubbly toe, it looks clean. Something that I think is interesting that they added though is like, look at this. They added little outriggers to the Jordan 6 molding. Wouldn't that be a trip if they actually like protrode a Jordan 6 with Phylon midsole or a Cushlon or whatever, Zoom air in the front, still visible air in the back, little outriggers there. I mean, come on, Jordan Brand. You guys can do some man, if you wanted to. You guys could impress some people. Instead of doing this, you can do some cool stuff like that. You'd have a lot of people in the league playing in Jordans, even though they already do, but like, you'd have a lot of people wanting to play in Jordans, like what they do with Kobe's.
So I had a thought.
Sure.
We have this artwork over here that you guys can't quite see, and it runs all the way up to the Jordan 18. And until you started talking about there being a cover on the 17, I was just like, is that what I see there? It's very hard to see.
They use the lows.
Okay.
They use the lightnings on the picture, which is very weird. They didn't do that for any of the other ones.
So I had been thinking that these holes down here were for people with super narrow feet, extra lace holes. And then you were talking about the cover.
You can do that. Like, so originally there was 2 sets of these.
Okay.
There was the one and then there was another one. So like, you can alternate your laces, that's an option, or you could put on that cover that this little rib thing on the top of the tongue was. Like,
okay.
It was kind of like stretchy, but not stretchy enough for me. So yeah, so that's just what it was. And if you did have super narrow feet, you put that cover on while you're laced up and you're not going anywhere. Like that thing was like suffocatingly tight.
Well, I just thought it was weird that after the 15, Jordan Brand decided, you know what, we need to protect as much as possible your laces. Because the 16 all the way to the 19 with that finger trap looking thing, I don't know.
No, the shroud was an era. The shroud era was very weird. It was the gator era is what the 16 started, where it was a removable.
The marching band looking thing.
Yeah, kind of reversible in some colorways and all that stuff. I really like that shoe, like the Cherry Woods are one of my favorites. The Gingers are really clean too. And then they did it with this one, the weird snap enclosure. I felt like these looked better. It sounds like an Ace
bandage the way that you describe it.
Just trust me. Like if you wore them, let us know like your thoughts on them. I felt like they were like really tight, just without that thing. And putting that thing on, I was like, this. And yeah, so like it was just really weird. The 18s I thought was probably the best of them, but you couldn't remove that one. And that was the downside. Same thing with the 19. Like the 19, like that was one hell of a just lockdown system. It was just hideous. So yeah, but thank you to Raul from our Discord community for helping us out. That's what our Discord community is all about. If you're interested in joining, make sure that you click the link down below in the description box. Not only do you get to be a part of a great community, but they also help fund this channel because we're self-funded. But with all that being said, these are starting to hit retail shelves now. So if you are at your local malls, they might be there. I think that I've seen them online. I don't remember if I saw them on a retail like site. I think they were all from like resell sites, which I wouldn't recommend doing at all. This is not one of those shoes. These will go to outlets.
I guarantee it.
And that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. And until next time, guys, have a good one.